legitimately be half of Nia Jax's size. So
might be less than half.
Yeah, she might be less than half. Nia Jax, when I saw NXT, Nia Jax was standing next to Samoa Joe, and she was bigger than Samoa Joe. That's no exaggeration. So this match, I feel like I'm assuming Nia Jax is going to get the win. I feel like she has to, and they're going to build towards a Nia Jax, Charlotte, Bayley triangle of terror at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think Nia's going to win this as well, and I think that'll be a 4-way at WrestleMania with Banks involved in that too. Their line of thinking probably is like if Sasha's going to turn heel at some point, that they'll probably just have her lose a bunch of matches as a babyface before she turns, just because that's how they seem to do things. So I think that Jax will win again here. Banks doesn't really lose much credibility, I think, if she loses. So I think Jax needs to win more, and she'll get it here. So we've got, let's go right into the women's title then. It's Bayley defending against Charlotte. Obviously they've mentioned it a lot on television that Charlotte has not lost a pay-per-view match with the title involved on the line. So the question, I guess, then becomes, is she going to win it back here after Bayley just won it on Raw a few weeks ago? Or will they leave it on Bayley going into WrestleMania?
With every death, there comes rebirth. It's a circle of life.
And it's to say that we've seen this before is an understatement. Is it too predictable? That's my question to you. Is it too predictable for them to do the exact same thing they just did with Sasha Banks and Charlotte?
I don't know. I mean, it is predictable, I guess. I don't know that I personally am not invested enough in it to be like, it's kind of annoying. I don't really. It's fine. Like if Charlotte wins, I would expect Charlotte to win. That's my prediction. So I expect her to win here. And I guess at some point when she loses on a pay-per-view, whether that's WrestleMania or somewhere else, it'll be a semi-big deal when they do that. I mean, they should probably save it. I wouldn't have probably put the title on Bayley on Raw. I would have left it on Charlotte just because I think that's just a better way to do things. But they seem to be looking to repeat that story of having somebody win the title on Raw and then have Charlotte win it back at pay-per-view. So I think Charlotte will win here and gain the title back again.
I agree with you. And as far as not giving Bayley the title, I think she didn't get enough build up on the main roster at all. And I think maybe you could have had Sasha turn on Bayley earlier to cost her that match to even, get more sympathy towards Bayley, so when she does win the match at WrestleMania, huge moment. But I feel like they kind of wasted their opportunity there.
Yeah, I think so too. They went to it a little too early.
Went to the well a little too early. I think, speaking of a little too early, maybe a little too late for this one. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus Enzo, Amore, and Big Cass. You and I have been fans of Enzo and Cass for a while, and dating back to NXT. I'm just going to come right out and say it. They're not ready to be tag team champions. They are not an established tag team. Enzo, for as great as he is on the mic, he is not very good in the ring. And there's not good in the ring, and then there's damn near unsafe, and he's kind of straddling that line. Big Cass is he's a good big man worker, but I feel like they can't have the tag team titles right now. There can't be anything that exposes Enzo in the ring, because if you're tag team champions, you have to wrestle. Well, you believe you have to wrestle a little more frequently, and Enzo, still isn't at that level, and he may never be at that level. He can go down as probably, if he wanted to, as one of the greatest managers of all time. But I think this might be the transition of getting, maybe you see, planting seeds of the breakup. Enzo gets the pin, gets pinned here, and Big Cass maybe turns on him at some point. I don't know. But I feel like you can't give them the titles, and I feel like you have to keep them on Gallows and Anderson's match.
Yeah, I think that Gallows and Anderson will retain. I don't think that Enzo and Cass, they've been up on the main roster for close to a year now. But they've been in and out of tag feuds. They kind of started as a tag team and did a few with the Dudleys, right? And then they switched over to Cass, maybe being more focused as a single. Then they kind of went away from that. Enzo had gotten hurt in there once or twice. So they've been kind of starting and stopping with them a lot. I don't think that they'll win here. I don't think that they should. They need to get more momentum behind them and building up credibility as a tag team. I don't think they'll be turning them against each other anytime soon. I just feel like the act is the two of them, and they still look relatively fresh for the main roster. It's been less than a year, even though Enzo's getting pretty annoying overall. But I think that Cass needs him to be able to talk and do the whole pre-match spiel. And I think that they're going to continue it for a while. Whether they break Cass off into a single, they might do that. And I think they'll still keep the association with Enzo, though, for a little while longer.
Do you think Enzo's getting annoying, or do you think he's kind of the same as he always was, but the amount they're having him talk is making it annoying to you?
Well, I guess it's more frequent now because they're on the show every week. Like with NXT, they weren't always on every single week and doing the same shtick, I guess, when they came out. So it's kind of a little repetitive, and I also think he's getting a little more annoying. Like the whole thing after it was a week or two ago where they beat Cesaro and Sheamus or whatever it was, and then he was like being like a real jerk afterwards. It was kind of annoying. So.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. So,
let's see, cruiserweight title. We got Neville versus Jack Gallagher. I'll go first, I guess. I'm gonna go with Neville in this.
That kills me. I'm sorry. Every time.
I don't see any reason. I like Gallagher as it's a comedy gimmick, I guess, and I wouldn't change it here. Neville's done a really nice job trying to get some credibility on that title. At least he is a credible wrestler, so I think they should keep it on him. I don't know what they're going to do at WrestleMania, if they're going to do something with Aries, because they've been kind of teasing him coming back into the ring soon, or if they're going to do like a big multi-person ladder match or something like that. But either way, I think
throwaway match to get all the talent in one spot.
Yeah, exactly. So either way, I think the answer is Neville keeps the title.
I agree with you 100%. I have not seen Jack Gallagher before the WWE, so before even the Cruiserweight Classic. So I can't really comment and say how good of a wrestler he is or how bad of a wrestler he is. But I'll tell you, I do not enjoy watching him wrestle on the rare chance I watch 205 Live, but on Raw. Nothing against him personally. He might be a very capable wrestler, but I do not like his shtick, and I feel like Neville is a savage. He's an absolute beast right now. His gimmick is the best it's ever been in the WWE, and he's doing a great job at it, so you cannot have him lose to a comedy guy like Jack Gallagher, who, for all intents and purposes, is a shorter, paler Santino Marella. So, for my money, Neville keeps the title.
Okay, I'm with you on that. And then let's go to Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman.
Just realizing this, we're 5 for 5 so far, 6 for 6. We agree with
predictions?
Each other.
Yeah. Yes, it's true.
Oh boy.
So Reigns and Strowman. I mean, simple backstory, I guess. Reigns was facing Kevin Owens for the Universal title at the Royal Rumble. It was a no DQ match, and the ending of it was Braun Strowman came out, interfered, cost Reigns, attacked him, and caused him to lose the match. So they started a feud that's been going on for the last few weeks. They're meeting here in a major singles match on pay-per-view. I think, I guess the thing that really the biggest unknown of it is whether Undertaker makes an appearance here or not. Reigns had eliminated Undertaker from the Rumble. They teased a feud between those guys. It's been widely speculated that they'll meet at WrestleMania. Nothing obviously is set in stone yet, but that's just speculation. So I don't know if Undertaker will appear here. I would think that he probably will do something. But I think either way, Braun Strowman is going to get the victory in this match.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess it all depends what they're going to do with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, if it really is going to be an Undertaker issue. I think Roman, I'm thinking about this. I was thinking maybe Roman wins and he's posing in the ring, then the Undertaker comes out, but I don't know if you would... Part of me says I don't know if you derail the Braun Strowman hype, but then part of me says, well, it's Roman, and they believe Roman's invincible, so I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say Roman Reigns gets the win over Braun Strowman, just to be different and just to be difficult.
Okay, that's perfectly reasonable, my friend. So then that leads us to the main event, which is the Universal Championship match. Kevin Owens defending against Goldberg. Owens, when he was still paired with Jericho basically kind of volunteered him for this match on Raw and agreed to it, so the match was set up. Owens then quickly turned on Jericho about a week or so later and ended that partnership. Jericho's not appeared on the show since then, and Owens has taken on a little bit more of a serious type tone, they've kind of teased some sort of connection or relationship with Triple H, although they've not really gotten too deep into that yet. And the deal basically after this is Goldberg's going to fight Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania either way. So it's either going to be with this championship on the line or not. So I'm going to say that Goldberg is going to win this match and win the Universal Championship and go on to defend it against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
I also think Goldberg is going to win. Jericho interference. The story writes itself. Which isn't a bad thing. Just because something is predictable doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. I think people kind of get that twisted. But the only problem I have here is Kevin Owens losing because of this. He's probably had the most heat he's had since coming up to the main roster. I feel like now with this more serious gimmick. So it's going to be. I don't know. Yeah, I think you have to have Goldberg win, and then I guess you could do Kevin Owens versus Jericho for the US Heavyweight title. So yeah, I'm with him that one, Goldberg. So the only thing we differ on this entire card is Reigns and Strowman.
Nice. So you'll be cheering on the Roman Empire this Sunday, is what?
No, I'll be cheering on the power going out actually during that match.
Okay.
Are you excited all about this card? Is there anything that you can't wait to see? I mean, what do you think?
Not really. I'm interested to see how Joe and Zayn comes off. That's probably it. I think some of the other matches would be okay.
You beat me to it. That's literally exactly what I was going to say. Yeah,
that's about it. I mean, the other matches, I know my expectation is that Goldberg's going to beat Owens in a relatively short match just because Goldberg can't work long matches. I guess I'm interested to see who wins the Braun Roman match. That seems to be the one that's the biggest toss-up of anything else on the show. And then that's really it. I mean, the tag match could be okay. I don't know. And hopefully the Charlotte Bayley match is good. I think it's got potential to be good. But I've seen it a couple times already in the last month or two. So
I'm going to shorten Braun Strowman's name to Broman. I'm going to go with that for a while.
I usually go with Brawny the Strowman, like Frosty the Snowman.
I like that. Both will not catch on. Will they be trending maybe on Twitter?
Probably we could try.
Sami Zayn and Samoa Joe is a match I'm most looking forward to as well. I think if given the right amount of time, which they should have plenty of time because there's 8 matches, 1 on the pre-show, 7 matches in 3 hours. They should get at least 10-12 minutes, I would hope. But I mean, part of me wonders if they're going to make it a squash to make Joe look like a beast. But yeah, there's nothing that's really catching my interest. The show before. Historically, the show before WrestleMania, you would think would be a really good show, but historically it's kind of been comme ci, comme ça, as the kids say, right?
For the most part, I think it's
a placeholder for WrestleMania.
Yeah, and especially during that era where they had Elimination Chamber in there. I know they just brought it back for SmackDown this year, but they've done it in the past, and there's usually 2 Elimination Chamber matches, and the titles change hands all the time. This was back a few years back, and that used to be annoying too. So there were times where it was a really good show. I remember No Way Out in 2001.
Look at this guy just pulling it off the top of his head. Unbelievable.
That was February of 2001. That was going into WrestleMania 17. And there was a lot of cool stuff on that show, if I remember correctly.
I'm going to watch that tonight, just so you know. I needed something to watch. I'm really going to watch it.
I think it was Rock versus Kurt Angle for the WWE title. And then the Austin Triple H 2 out of 3 falls, the 3 stages of hell. That match is on there. Both very good.
That's
there's awesome. A 4-way to open the show as well, and it's going to bother me if I can't remember.
Was that before they got the F out, or was that?
That is before they got the F out.
Right.
They got the F out in I think 2002.
Right.
Yeah. So this was it. Jericho, Guerrero,
Benoit,
X-Pac, maybe. Can we look that up? Let's look that up.
We're looking that up. So while the Stallion looks that up, I'm here to remind you that we are once again brought to you by Damage 365 Radio.
This is former WWE superstar Damian Sandow, now known as Aaron Stevens, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio. Keep it tuned. You're welcome.
Speaking of, I don't want to talk about any kind of Impact spoilers. We could talk about that later. I'm also trying not to look at the screen because the Stallions got up the No Way Out 2001 results, and I don't want to be spoiled because that's 16 years ago. That's more than half my life ago.
Yeah. The 4-way did not open the show, by the way. It's the second match on the show. But the participants we had correct. So.
No. The participants you had correct.
Okay.
Actually, I said Benoit, but that was more of a stab in the dark. So that's going to be Sunday night. What do you want to do? You want to go to the 5 count?
5 count or some news?
Breaking news?